Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Tally Parental Pilgrimage with a Micro Preemie, our podcast. Welcome if you're listening on audio. Keep your eyes on the road. If you're watching on YouTube, don't judge my hair. So it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Glad you were able to join us. My wife Stephanie,
Hey everybody.
always here with me, always by my side. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, Stephanie.
Yes, it's been a very crazy couple weeks. We've got some personal stuff going on with my grandpa and just stuff with Tally and her physical therapy and trying to figure everything out. So it's been hectic to say the least, but we're getting through it one day at a time.
So it's pretty tough. I know we went through similar situation with my dad a few months ago, and it's never easy. So it's a day at a time, like you said.
Doesn't matter how old they get, it's never easy to lose them.
No. We did want to talk about something a little happier this week. Since last week we talked about Hallie's eye surgery and coding and not breathing and how scary it was. So we wanted to do something a little more of a victory, more excitement. And I know this was a big deal. It was the first time that Talley crawled. So it was her first big physical milestone, I feel like. Well, kind of rolling over was the first physical milestone, but it was
Even
so
to this day,
close.
Tally's not a very good roller. I mean, she does roll. She knows how, but she doesn't
Yeah.
like to. So,
Yeah. And it was so close to the crawling that it's kind of all the same thing.
yeah, it's just really hard, and people out there who have full term babies and micro preemies or even preemies, it's just so hard to compare them to any other baby that you had or that you've known. And so Tally had turned one on May 12th, and she still had no crawling. She was sitting up on her own, which was still a big milestone for us. I think she hit that in the springtime, sitting up on her own. And she just would get in the crawling position, and the physical therapist was like, okay, when she moves her arm, you move her back leg, and just so she can learn to coordinate the two together. And so we passed our 1 year mark and still no crawling. And of course, I'm like, when is she gonna crawl? She's never gonna crawl. And then Memorial Day weekend, so at the end of May, so she would have been 1 year actually. And then I guess that would be
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Well, I'm just sorry, her adjusted age would have been about 9 months, probably.
Yeah, like 9 months and a
Somewhere in
week.
there, yeah. So 12 months actual, 9 months adjusted. We're at my sister's house on Memorial Day weekend, which she lives in Lawton. So there's a long weekend, a lot of times I'll pack up the kids and we'll go see my sister, and Mike will stay here and work because he doesn't get to work the Monday through Friday type hours right now. But we're hoping to fix that maybe. So, anyways, we were at Memorial Day weekend at my sister's house, and we all had just actually gotten over COVID, and we were all just happy to be out of the house and just getting around. And we're just sitting there at my sister's house and just working with her and working with her. And then here comes Nevaeh, which Nevaeh also helped Miles to crawl for the first time. So she's just a great big sister and big sibling to those little ones. And Tally did her first crawl at my sister's house right there in the living room. And she has not slowed down since then. She is a mover. Once she realizes that those feet are going to work faster than those hands and knees, I feel like she's going to be walking, but we're working on that, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny that it was Nevaeh because, like you said, Miles crawled for Nevaeh first, Although Nevaeh had her phone for Miles and he wanted the phone. But it was still Nevaeh that did it. So Miles has always been enamored with Nevaeh. She's his best friend, and he's her best friend, even though she probably wouldn't admit that. But they love to play together. They love to fight. Oh my god, they fight. And she gets so frustrated with him. And I'm like, Nevaeh, where do you think he learned it? From you. So I think we'll have some more of that to look forward to. But she did coax Talley to crawl. Fortunately, Stephanie got it on video.
Yeah.
You almost never get the first one.
And the first time you're expecting them to hit a milestone, it's like you want to video every move they make because you just never know when they're going to get it down. And when she got it down, it was just, like I said, unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
But
and the physical therapy really plays a big part in this too, because she's been going to physical therapy for, gosh,
ever since we came out from the hospital, so well over a year.
Yeah. And the physical therapists have been amazing. You know, they work with her. They tell us what we need to do to work with her at home, because she only sees them once a week. The majority of the work is with us, but they can show us what we need to do, determine what her strengths are, what her weaknesses are, what she needs to work on. And it's a huge advantage. You almost wonder if the kids that are full term couldn't benefit from seeing a physical therapist, once a month maybe, or anything like that, just to say they're doing a good job. Here's how you can help them progress faster, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the physical therapy, I think when you have a full-term baby, until they start showing signs that they might have any delays, they probably just assume that they're going to be okay. Where when you have your preemies, there's almost the assumption that they're going to have some type of early prevention, especially when they're micro preemies. I know there's plenty of preemies out there who were born not nearly as early as Tally, and they have just succeeded, greatly. And every baby is going to, go at their own pace. And physical therapy has definitely been our lifesaver, because we do have Sooner Start through the state also. We only see them once a month, but our private physical therapist, even with the walking situation, we're running into maybe possible muscle tone issues and tightness in her muscles. And if we didn't have the therapist, we first of all would have no idea what we were looking for. We would have no clue. And we also wouldn't be getting the valuable lessons and tips that we get. And we wouldn't be having the people monitor her the way she needs to be monitored. So if you have a preemie and it's recommended to get early intervention, I think it's a must. If your doctor says that you need it, it's hard. I mean, thankfully Mike has a job where he's off on a couple weekdays, so he's able to take her. Because if we both had 8 to 5 jobs, I think one of us would have to probably scale back on working to make sure she's getting the therapy that she needs. So we've just realized that, whatever we have to do on our end to get her to where she needs to be is what's going to have to happen. And sometimes it's not easy, at night whenever I get home from work or Mike's worked all day and we still need to do our stretches with her and make sure she's walking with her shoes on and walking around the house. It's hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie, because you still have 2 other kids that need to be taken care of, dinner that needs to be made, and you don't want her to go without the proper care she needs, because you don't want to ever have any doubt in your mind that something you did could have led to some type of issue with her in the future. So it's not easy, but we are very, very grateful for our physical therapist and our occupational therapist. We do PT and OT. We do OT just every other week, and then we do physical therapy every week. We thought we were able to take a break every other week for the physical therapy, but it's just been decided recently that we're going to go back to every week. And a lot of people I've talked to have said that their preemies go to therapy at least until they're 2. So I don't know if that's when a lot of them, they say you can stop adjusting their ages at 2, that they should be caught up to where they need to be by the age of 2. So who knows, maybe by next May we'll be where we need to be and we can graduate from physical therapy. But until then, we're just going to take it week by week, day by day, and see how she progresses.
Yeah. The physical therapists are amazing. The physical therapy program is really impressive. And sometimes I can look back at Miles and Nevaeh and, if one of them had been behind with crawling or walking, if we might not have even known if they were behind or not. But the things that therapists can help us with for Talley, we can say, this is what she's working with. This is where she's struggling. Here's how you can help her overcome that. Because, like I said, 90% of the work's at home with us. So, like with Miles, it took him a while to do it. And at the time, I don't know if there's anything we could have done to help him get there faster. I don't know. That's just, it kind of highlights the benefit a physical therapist can have, even if they're not early. Like just a consult that, hey, here's what's happening. Work with him a little, say, he's doing great. Here's what you can do. Just once or twice first year couldn't hurt.
Well, I mean, even just on normal, child checkups, our pediatrician checks Miles for, his jumping and things like that to make sure he's on track where he is. I'm sure if there was ever any concern, your doctors would send you in that direction to get that checked out. I'm not sure. But even with your full-term babies, I always read the what to expect when you're expecting. And when Miles didn't do exactly what they said, I was on Google and looking up things. So one thing you just learn when you become a parent is that every baby is different. And every baby is going to meet their full potentials at different times in their life. As a baby, a toddler, a young adult, an adult, we all reach our milestones at different times. And what milestones we will meet, we just don't know. So.
Yeah. And after a while, we figured out Miles was just stubborn and didn't want to do it. That happens too. I think Talley's got some of that going right now. If you distract her, she'll stand up just fine and maybe not even lean against anything, but balance against them. And she'll forget about it. So it should be coming pretty soon, I think. We got to break through the mental barrier of walking is better than crawling. But she's really good at the crawling. She, like her brother, she charges down that hallway when she hears the bathroom door. And she'll sit outside Bea's room and pound on the door and go, Bea! So she's into everything. She loves the kitchen. Brother leaves the gate open on purpose. I know it's on purpose. And as soon as he does, here she comes through the gate. Straight to the dog water.
Yeah. Miles is the same way. He loved that water. I don't think it's because of the dog. I think it's just because of the water.
Oh, that water bowl. Well, Miles is obsessed with water anyway. Even now. There's a puddle outside. You have to fight him away. And even really still the dog bowl. If you give him half a chance, he'll still get it. In fact, one day, it was the teacup. He brought me the little plastic teacup. And he said, here, Dad, have a drink of tea. So I looked at it, and it had water in it. He's like, drink it, for real. Where'd you get this? You didn't get this out of the bathroom, did you? No. Okay. Took a sip, and then I realized, you got this out of the dog bowl, didn't you? Yes. Get out of here. Such a punk. And he's Tally's favorite person, so we're in for it.
For sure.
So we just kind of wanted to share uh exciting time, exciting moment. I don't know if there's anything else you want to throw in there about it.
All I want to say is, even now, don't get too discouraged when milestones don't happen when you think they should. I get down on myself all the time still about the walking thing and her muscles, and I worry and I stress, and it's easy for me to tell you guys not to do that because I do it all the time. But so far, Tally has not let us down, and she's met all the milestones she's supposed to. She just made them on her own time. And you just have to realize that even if she's going to need some type of assistance with certain shoes or possibility of braces or help walking, whatever she needs, we're going to provide for her. And then whatever your babies might need, you'll be willing to provide for them just to help them to get to where they need to. So don't be too hard on yourself or your babies whenever the walking doesn't come at a year or 15 months like you think. Um, I've seen a lot of support groups where they are closer to 2 when they start walking, and I hear it and I register in my head like, okay, we're not there yet, but it still hurts your heart a little bit because you don't want your babies to be behind and you don't want them to have any type of discomfort. So if you can, just do your best and try to stay positive and don't get down on yourself, because if you're doing your early prevention and you're doing what they tell you to do and you're doing the best you can to help that baby, then that's all the baby can ask from you and that's all you can ask from yourself. So just love them and help them get over those humps as the best they can.
Yeah, your baby is a miracle. Period. It doesn't matter what challenges they have. They're going to do their best. They're going to overcome them as best they can. And you're going to look at them and just see how amazing they are. Maybe I'm being presumptuous just talking from my own experience, but I look at her, I don't see any of that stuff. She's amazing. She's funny. She's a little punk. Today, she said, "Big girl," and like put her hands up while she said it. So she just does crazy things, and she laughs all the time. She smiles, and it doesn't matter that she's not walking. She will. She works hard, and God has blessed her with strength, and she fights, and she overcomes every challenge. So all you can do is be there and support them and learn from them, honestly. I mean, just watch them, and they show you exactly who they are and who you should try to be. So maybe that sounds crazy. I don't know. But, and if you go, there's an episode of Bluey. I know all you parents out there are like, oh, Bluey. But the baby race episode, watch that. That's really all you need to watch. That'll put it into perspective. Don't tell anybody, but I like teared up a little bit the first time I watched it. I'll deny it. Anybody. So that's all I've got. Just sharing some joy. One of the few moments that I did not get to be there for. I get to be there for all the new words and phrases she says that nobody believes.
Yeah, because at 1 month old, Mike said she's saying sentences, and we know that's not true. So,
I've got a video of her at 3 months saying, "Hey!" Everybody says that's what she said. Hmm.
no. She was just making noises.
I've got it on video. I'll post it online. You guys can be the judge. That's all we got for this week. Stephanie, always happy to do this with you.
Of
We
course.
we do everything together, so except pick TV shows.
It's true. I'm about to go get in my bed and watch my TV shows.
Oh yeah, she's like a true crime nut, Dateline, all that stuff. I joked with her when we first got together that if I ever got into trouble, if I disappeared, nobody'd ever find me. Because she watches so much true crime. There's no way she'd ever get caught. And if she did, honestly, I'd be disappointed. They're like, all those hours of Dateline, I expected.
I don't know about all that.
I haven't come across any notebooks filled with notes or anything like that, so probably fine. She puts up with me for some reason.
Yeah. I'm still figuring it out. Just kidding.
So, wanted to thank everybody for joining us. Short one today, but that's okay. It was a good one. Stephanie, you're getting tired over there. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Work, hospital, home, podcast.
Yeah. And 2 little kids, and dad's in his 40s. Enough that when I went to the doctor, they asked if I was physically active. I said, I'm 44. I have a 3-year-old and a baby. So they just checked yes. No questions. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. And if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. Comments are nice. We appreciate the feedback. If you have any questions or stories to share, let us know. If you're listening just audio, make sure and subscribe to the show so you get the new episodes every couple of weeks. That's all I got for you. So thanks a lot, Team Talley, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Hope we can help you.